So I want to find out how many of us in the room are making use of Moodle. And we are using it to do more than post our lecture notes, contact students, and for tests. Okay. So this morning, I came with a few slides on assessment, but I'm not going to want to go there, but it is not within my area of expertise, and I believe that it has been well done already. So I'm going to start directly from Moodle. What it is and how we can make use of it, and how we can add it to our classroom, how we can enhance the learning experience for the students, and how it can assist us as lecturers in how we manage our classroom and our course material. I'm not very good with pieces of paper. They tend to disappear on me. And then when you're doing a number of courses and the students are many, the piles kind of get mixed up. And so we have to be tumbling for students' material. As the numbers climb as well, it's becoming more and more challenging to collate grades. Especially when you have 3 Kareem Harrys in one class. You know, I'm taken aback sometimes by the number of similar names of students that I find in my classroom. I have to distinguish them by their middle names. How do we manage that system? And Moodle allows us to do quite a bit of that. It also allows us to interact with our students and to hold them to a certain degree of honesty, which is one part of it that I really like. So what is Moodle? And it's an acronym for Modular Object-Oriented Dynamic Learning Environment. We have been using it at the university for a little while. It's a software package designed by teachers for teachers. And I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about Moodle today. I'm going to focus directly on what I was asked to do. And I was asked to look at assessment and how you can, let me give you the name that I was assigned. Moodle supported assessment, getting your assessment fully online. So I'm going to start directly at assessment. When we get into Moodle, Moodle offers you a wide variety of options. In large part, we tend to give our students assignments, essays, long papers, and tests. But there are a number of other things that we can do with Moodle, but I'm going to stick to what we commonly do for the purpose of this exercise this afternoon. So in our Moodle activities, we will see that it offers us the assignment. Students are able to write their papers and do whatever it is that we want them to do and to submit it via Moodle. We have the forums where they're allowed to have a conversation with each other about any topic that you provide them with. They're able to have a discourse back and forth as a form of assessment. And then of course we have the quiz. What is it that you want to do in your classroom? We heard a lot this morning about your tests. We heard about the multiple choice, we heard about the true and false, we heard about the matching. But you can also have an essay done under the quiz setting in Moodle. You can put in your question and students would be required to input their responses. You can have a short answer question that you do in Moodle as well. So that for those of you who have students who have my handwriting, you are relieved of that page. I was trying to figure out, this is an M, a N, a L. You don't have that worry because we're typing and everything is clear. You can have numerical questions for those who are in the math and sciences, engineering, and so on areas. And it's not simply a numerical question, but they give you options there as well. You can have calculated questions, you can have calculated multiple choice. You have a variety that you can explore in terms of what you want to do for your assessment. So we have a number of options. Now, what happens once you set that test? In the case of the multiple choice, multiple select, and the ones we heard this morning, they can be automatically graded. So you input them into the system, you input the mark scheme, and the student does the test, and it is graded immediately. So the test is for 60 minutes. When the student's time expires or when they complete the test and they submit it, they get their score. So that it relieves you of the, I love to say burden, the burden of grading. The tedious task that takes us hours and weeks. And it relieves you of that. For the manually graded section, you'll see shorthands in both sides, your calculated and your essays. The shorthand is in both sides because this is a computer. And if you say that A is the answer, and somebody puts in a comma, it will be marked incorrect. And our purpose is to ensure that the students receive what they worked for. So for the short answer questions, we go back through them to ensure that the correct answer is awarded the appropriate mark. We know that our students struggle with spelling and all of these things. So that we try to ensure that they receive what they worked for. Now, what is it that happens after the grade is, the script is graded? Do you then have to go to each student and write down their score? What happens? I gave you a sample of the forum. For those of you who may not be using the forum, this is the actual assignment. Let me enlarge that slightly for you in case you are visually talented like I am. So this is the actual assignment that is given to the students, and they have a word limit and a time. You will know the time for submission. Is that beyond your bedtime? It's beyond mine. But the student has that time to get their work done. They don't have to come by close of business to submit it to me. If they're working and they have to work that day and they want to put some finishing touches to it, they can work way down into the evening and then submit. We have the benefit of that because it is online. And here we have the students interacting with each other. So they put up whatever is their take on the issue, and students are allowed to comment on their position. So whatever it is that we put up, in this case it's an article, has environmental education failed, and they are in a discourse with each other. No, I don't believe it has failed. This is why I don't believe it. Yes, I believe it has failed. This is why I don't agree with your perspective. This is why I don't agree. And as a matter of fact, given your perspective, it has failed. And they go through that. Of course, I have to limit the amount of interaction that they're allowed to have. So you give them instructions in terms of how many comments, how many responses they are allowed to post. Because of course it is one of the options that you have that has to be manually graded. Alright, so we have the forums that the students can also make use of, and this is where you would allocate whatever is their grade. And so you have a number of options for what it is that you can do with the students. Now the classroom time does not allow for a lot of, this morning someone had that conversation, I think it was a gentleman in the corner there, who said that we don't give the students sufficient time for the analysis, but we expect them to do it in the assessment. Sometimes the classroom time just does not allow for a lot of discourse. Particularly when the semester has a lot of holidays and so on. Or in instances where the lecturer has to be in Burmese when they have a class in town. You know, it just doesn't allow for all of the discourse. So there are options that you can provide your students that will allow them to be engaged outside of the classroom. This is your assignment that you can offer to your students. Whatever it is you want them to do. In this instance, they had a field exercise to one of Massey Industries' facilities for the purpose of occupational safety and health, and this assignment here is requiring them to critique what they would have observed. And they will submit their assignment, and I will grade it. Now, when they submit their assignment, they have options. I can allow them to submit it as an attachment, where they upload a document because they may have a lot of images and so on that they want to include, or they can do it inline. Where they put it into the text box and I can monitor the word count. So if it is a class of 360 students, then I want to be very judicious with my marking and how much leeway I give to them. So I want them to submit an assignment for no more than 500 words. So then I ask them to do it inline. And so I can monitor that, and anything above the word limit is not allowed to be submitted. So there are different ways to monitor the student, but this is what it will look like when you design it. You will note that you have the number of participants. You will note how many of them have submitted, and they have an idea of how much time is remaining for submission. Now, if perchance I am required for another course to head out to Nadia or Lethem or something of the sort, I can still go with my nice small bag and my computer. My assignments can be submitted, and as long as I have internet access, I can grade them. I don't have to walk with additional luggage. I don't have to pay the excess or anything like that. Everything is stored online. And I open up my system, and I can grade them wherever I am, whenever I have a few minutes extra. So you have a wide variety of options for your assessment. Now what Moodle does for you is once you have graded the assessment, it creates its own spreadsheet. So that you don't have to go student by student and input the score. Moodle does that for you. So that it provides you with a spreadsheet for each assignment, each test that the student would have done, that you can then download. The student also has a view of their grade book. And so as you post their scores, if you grade their items, they can see them. They can access the platform and they can see their scores. Now, however you want to download this, you can do that. It gives you a number of options for the files that the file type that you might wish to download. But whether it's an Excel spreadsheet that you're interested in, you will have access to that. And then you can put it in the format your department, your faculty requires for submission. All of this reduces the amount of time we have to spend on this exercise and allows us to focus on, for me, the more interesting bit, the actual classroom presentation and interaction with the students, while allowing them to do what they need to do. So that in all of my courses, from day one, the students are required to ensure that they have access to Moodle. And once they have begun the registration process, they have access. And if they don't have access, then Mr. Malampati can grant them manual access so that they can receive all that they need and they can be engaged throughout the course. So from day one, right up to the final exam, for my courses are done on the Moodle platform. It can be the same for you. It can be the same for you. So whether I have a class of 20, if I'm very, very fortunate, or I have a class of 6 to 7 or 360, it is done on the Moodle platform. I do not have a pile of assignments in my office anywhere. Everything is stored here. And once it's stored here, that's it. This year, I've added a few things. Next year, I will upload all of it right back onto the Moodle platform, and I will continue to edit, and it remains right there for me to use and for my students to access. I don't lose anything, because I can't find it in the barrage of paper. Everything is stored here, and the students can have access to it. Now, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking, and so I was very clear in that in order for you to truly understand and appreciate using Moodle and putting in an assignment or a test, it would be better for you to do it yourself. A lot of times when I speak to my colleagues, they're of the view that putting a test online is time consuming. It's difficult. I'd like you to try this afternoon so that you can see that it is not really very difficult. And once you've posted those questions online this year, they are right there for you to use next year if you so choose, or 5 years down the road if you so choose. So I want us to spend time this afternoon, and I see that the computers are out. And I want us to, one, create an assignment. So we're going to do that first. I want to create an assignment. So I'm going to come out of Moodle, and I'm going to go into the I'm going to go into the actual Moodle platform, and we're going to create an assignment so that you can see what is required. So while we sort out our technical difficulties, if we can access our Moodle platform so that we how many persons can access? So we can see how to do how to set up an assignment. Some people need to be able to create an account, do you? Yes.
Of course.
Yes,
They should have Wi-Fi.
I actually cannot walk you through the creation of top. That is the Madam Cathy's purpose. I do not have that authority.
Or if you can go next to someone who has a
Software.
All right. Are we, most of us, able to see on a system that has it? Alright, so if we're going to create an assignment in our course, the first thing we do is we turn editing on. So the editing option is usually in the left-hand corner. Alright, and we're going to add an activity. So you follow the cursor. We're adding an activity. And right at the top we have assignment. Are we following? Some people are now getting access. They're not getting it. I'm not sure what the password is.
Tell me who is in. 3 persons here. Anybody in over here? No? How many vaccines y'all not in? Or y'all look like y'all long way? Some people look like they're long way. going to do so, but we have this session taped, so you can go back, because we're going to be sharing it up on our site, and you all have already. Good? So we all be Moodle friendly by tomorrow.
Alright. So for those of us who have access, we can choose assignment. And you will note over here, right? When we click on assignment, it gives us a guide as to what it is that we can expect. Alright, so if you're not certain, you can just click on the options and they will tell you what they are and what they can and cannot do. Alright, so we are creating an assignment. And once we click assignment, we click add. So what's the name of our assignment? We can put in the name of our assignment. We can give it a description. If the chance it is an assignment where the students are required to read a case study, or to look at an image, or anything of that nature, you have the option to attach a document to provide additional guidance. Alright, and then we have our important bits and pieces. Alright, when do you want it submitted? Alright, so you open it. You allow the students to see what their due date is. And then, you know, we always have those students that need a little extra time. They can never get anything in by the prescribed deadline. You can cater for them, if you so choose. So that you will know that it has a due date and it has a cutoff date. So it can be due on the 3rd of April, and the cutoff date can be the 5th of April. I will take late submissions up until the 5th of April. And after that, you get 0. Those are options available to all of us. Now, if you are busy, and you're likely to need a little nudge, right? You can also set for yourself a reminder, right? When it should inform you that, look, you need to grade these assignments. Right? But if you don't need that, then you don't need to enable it. Right? You have different submission types that I indicated. Right? You can ask them to do the online text or the file submission. So that if you ask for a file submission, it will lock you out of word limit. So that if you're asking for file submissions, you have to be careful with this section. So you have to be able to limit them. Otherwise, today they'll submit something, they'll have a conversation with somebody, and they'll add something, and tomorrow they'll submit something, and you will end up with 5 submissions that you have to figure out which one you will grade. So you have to be careful with this section here, so that you indicate clearly it is one file that you are permitted to upload. What is the size of the file? In our case, we are limited. I think the 150 actually is the maximum. Alright? 150 is the maximum. Alright? Dr. Murray, on the other hand, is able to submit files of 750 megabytes and so on her platform. Alright? But in our case, the limit is 150. Alright? And so the students are able to submit fairly large files. One of my courses, the students have to do a project where in some instances they go out into the street and they do a video recording or they produce their own music and so on, and so they need room for submission. Alright, so depending on what it is you are requiring of them, they may also need some room to submit. So you may need to ensure that it is at the maximum limit. Alright, and then you have the kind of feedback that you would like to give to them. Alright, what kind of comments would you like to make? How would you like to make those comments? It allows you to make selections there as well. Alright, so you have a number of options. And in any setup, you can just go through all of them. You will see they have a little question mark here. If you tap on it, it gives you guidance as to what that means. So all along the way in Moodle, it offers you direction and guidance. Alright, so if you want to comment inline and use all kinds of fancy colors to guide the students in your comments and so on, then you want to select yes for this grouping. Alright, and then we have grade. You can identify how you wish your assignment to be graded, what score and what grade they're required to pass, and that kind of thing. Alright, because in some instances, some lecturers give students a number of chances. You have 2 or 3 attempts at an assignment in order to, before it's closed up, so that the grade to pass would be important to you if this is one of your criteria. Alright, and that basically is what is required in setting up an assignment. You click save, and the students have available to them their assignment. It will show them the same thing. Who has submitted, how much time remaining before submission, and when you grade it, they will see their grade. Alright? So that it is not difficult to set up your assignment. Any questions? Okay. Let's walk through as well how to set up a forum. Perchance you want to try a forum. We go right back to add an activity. And we select forum. And again, it will give you information as to what that forum is all about. And the different kinds of forums that you are able to set up. Alright, and you can decide whether you want a forced forum, where it is restricted because you want every student in the class to participate, or if it is that you make it optional. Because maybe you have 3 or 4 forums, and maybe they have to do any 2. So then it's optional. Alright, what they choose to do. And you will see the pattern is similar. Alright, in terms of the name, the description, alright, what type of forum you want. As I indicated, we have a number of options. Alright, for how you wish to set up. And again, your word count, depending on your class size. Alright, you may not want them to upload any attachments, and you may want to restrict them to a word limit. Depending on my class size, I usually restrict them to 100 to 150 words for comment or response. Alright? Depending on the class size as well, I restrict the number of comments and responses. Alright, so in some instances, if the class is very large, they make one comment and one response. If the class is fairly small, then they can make 2 comments and 2 responses. Alright, so they go through the submissions of their colleagues and they choose any 2 to comment on. And it allows them to weigh the pros and cons of submissions and to articulate their arguments for why they are of any particular view. And it makes a very interesting reading. Alright, so we can limit how many posts they make per week. Alright. If that is a choice you want to make, alright, we can limit how many posts they make per week, or we can leave it open and we can say no, don't block it. Alright. If it's not necessarily a graded assignment, it is just for them to express their views, then you can leave it open and they can continue to engage. Alright, we grade and we save and display, and students have an assignment that they need to do. Alright, so you have a number of options. Alright, now this morning we heard a lot about tests. And we heard about the variety of questions and how we should go about setting questions. And did anybody get the assignment done? Did they write down your questions? Anybody?
This table.
You wrote down your questions? So we have a sample of multiple choice questions over here. Alright, we're going to find some questions there. Alright? So we were able to do assignments and forums, so we're going to go to quiz now. And there are interesting features in quiz. Alright? We see the same name and description, but there are a couple of other things that are available to us. Alright, we see timing. Alright, so this morning Dr. Thompson spoke about the cheating and so on that was going on in his assessment. Alright, and we know that when we have our paper assessments, either the people who sit at the back or the front are always given a little extra time. Alright, because we say pens down and we start collecting the papers from one section while they continue writing in another section. Well, in this case here, they don't get that luxury. Because when the time is up, the time is up. And there's no clock on a wall that the invigilator brings or that you bring that manages the time. The time is managed by the computer. And when you have exhausted your time, the computer locks you out. So everybody gets the same amount of time. And you can determine how much time is required.
Question. How do we verify that the student does not have his or her book right next to them when they're actually doing the test?
The tests are usually done under the usual test.
Well, the test isn't like a quiz. I think this feature is good if this is an open book quiz.
No. The test is usually done under the usual test conditions. You come into a room like this, you sit behind a computer, and you do your test. it's not a home or anywhere happens or whatever. It's under the same conditions as a paper test.
Yeah, the question may arise, student may use a computer, for example, taking an exam, CSEC, where you find student may have access to the internet using the computer. But how you can eliminate that is that you create a test account and lock all other sites off. So they only have access to this.
They're not allowed to browse elsewhere.
So when the students come in to, let's say this is the exam, the university provides the computers?
Yes, the university provides the computers. The exams are done in the CIT. Anybody else?
Just want to point out that when we do the exam, it's under the playing conditions is when we take the test, and we do have invigilators also.
Alright, so the test conditions do not differ. It's the same condition as a paper test. The same conditions as a paper test, except in this case, it is being done on a computer. So they're not doing it at home, they're not doing it under the shade here or anything. They're doing it in a room on the test condition. So you have the ability to time it. And when the time expires, you have some options for how you will treat your students. So they're nice to you. Leaving all the others very tiny, so you can't see them. Anyway, so in my case, I usually allow all open attempts to be submitted automatically. You might be different. You might say that attempts must be submitted before the time expires. So if the time expires and they don't submit, then they get 0. Or you may offer them a grace period when they have an opportunity to submit their test, but they are limited. They're not allowed to answer any other questions. So you have options for what is it that you can do to favor your students. You have the grade, and you have to be careful here when you're setting up your test in terms of the number of attempts allowed. Because sometimes we can offer more than one attempt. But if you only want them to have one attempt, then you have to ensure that you set your test accordingly. And then we have the layout. How many questions do you want per page? So I had a colleague from accounts who was setting up a test a few weeks back. And she wanted to have one question per page because the questions were a little lengthy. If your questions are short, like the test questions we had earlier this morning, then you might want to have 10 or 15 questions per page. You will know that you can have as many as 50 on one page. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can have as many as 50 on one page. How do you want the questions to behave? My system is set permanently as yes and deferred feedback so that they don't get any feedback until the test is completed. If the chance you would like them to have feedback at the end of every question, you can also set it in that fashion. So we have a number of options. And then you have your review options. What do you want the students to see at the end of the test? Do you want them to see the attempt? Do you want them to see their marks? Do you want them to be given some kind of feedback based on your marking scheme? All of that is allowed. You can provide them with detailed feedback, not simply the right answer. During the term, depending on the nature of the test, if it's a multiple choice test, I would recommend that you provide them with the feedback immediately after the attempt. So while they are right there in the room, they are given an opportunity to review their paper and to see the comments. If it is that you are planning to build a pool of multiple choice questions, it may not be within your best interest to offer them these two. These are the days of screenshot and all kinds of things. Your test paper would become viral very quickly. But in the interest of allowing the student to see their paper, to see what they got wrong, why they got it wrong, and so on, I always give them the option of seeing the attempt and the feedback immediately after the exam. All other discourse happens in the classroom without the exam paper. When it is a final exam, then everything here is blank. There's no review. And that I believe the university offers at a fee of $10,000. No, I don't cut out the review. I didn't come up with money. And that's what I'm saying. They don't get anything because the university offers that service separately. Now, when I first started using Moodle, they didn't have this feature. Restrictions on the test. This is a feature that was added 2 years ago. That was really important because what it allows now is only the students who are in the test room have access to the test when it is being done. Because now requires a password, which you give out in the test room. Before there was no password, and so a student who was at home sick could do the test once it was open. So you had to monitor carefully the class list and who was present and so on. Now we don't have to do that. Now it requires a password to restrict who has access to the test at any given time and any given date. And you can set up your test accordingly. Now, we're going to go over to the actual questions.
How we can use this for people
Disability? Oh, that's one in the for persons with disabilities, if I'm aware of it, if I'm made aware of it, and the person will have a need for a little more time to get the test done, that is arranged. The test actually can be set specifically for that student. So that if everybody else in the class requires 60 minutes, but because of the disability, that student requires 2 hours, the test can be set specifically for that student, so that the student can be given the additional time. What we don't cater for in this year is the visually challenged. The kid is almost everybody else. Alright, but the visually challenged, we don't take it all. But a few years ago, we had worked on exam policy. I don't know where it is. That was supposed to address the different variables. So that in this case here, there will be somebody who will actually read the question to them, alright, so that they could indicate the response. But that has never happened for me, and so I don't know that how that will be arranged.
I don't know if you have in place the policy, but I know that it does happen because for social work we've had some students with challenges and through exam the different accommodations were made to facilitate those students completing their exams. Sorry?
Probably the paper exam.
The paper-based exam.
The
But
paper-based.
I'm thinking that very similarly,
It wouldn't be
it
difficult.
would be able to do the same.
Here. Alright? Please also note, alright, please also note that these exams, alright, the final exams, they follow the same rules. Alright, they follow the same rules. So, like you, I believe the deadline has passed. Alright? We are required to submit the exam. Because these are technology-based exams, and you know that all things can go right with these kinds of exams. The exams division has a copy, a paper copy of this exam. Alright, so that should something happen to the lecturer, should something happen to the facilities, that exam can be rolled out and the students can do it manually. Alright, what is this, the registrar, historical, it is lodged like any other exam. There isn't anything different except for the execution. But I've never had a visually challenged student, so I don't know how that plays out, but I know that the policy has catered for such students. So how do we set up questions? And I was hoping that someone had some questions so that we could input them into the bank so that you can see someone with time and you can see how quickly it is. You can enter your question into the question bank.
in terms of visually impaired and so on, we have in the library called the assistive technology equipment, where we have these companies, we have a specific corner, a turkine with equipment, especially for persons who are differently able. And it allows for reading for them. We usually get requests from lecturers to scan the information onto the computer. They would send chapters of books. And it could be used for test purposes. It's a book where persons can use it if they have persons in their classroom. We scan it and then the computer can read it back in whichever voice they prefer. It's male voice, female voice, how fast, how slow, and all of that. And all of that is in the library. So you see, we're moving with the times. What we find is that more students are, we're taking more persons with disabilities. And therefore, the libraries look at that, the desk, even the furniture, and that is located on the ground floor to our kind of even furniture, because we have the desk that is adjustable to suit somebody in a wheelchair and all of that. And I'm sure that's something that most persons don't know. But because we have raised the issue of how exams can be administered, I think it's time for people to know that it can be done in the library. Because we have had requests to facilitate those persons, especially persons from the social work area. And we have done it over the past. So the facility is there at the university to cater for those persons.
Okay, so we know that if that should occur, I can reach out to many avenues. So we want to add questions to our question bank. Right? And under administration, you will find your question bank. You'll find your question bank. You will know that you can either have open questions or you can place them in categories. Right? So if you want to put your questions according to how the topics fall on your course outline, then you can use the category, right? To set up your questions. But we're going to try to enter a question because it is always the stumbling block, it seems, for most lecturers. Oh, I want to give my students 60 questions. It's going to take forever for me to enter them. No, it is not. Right? It is going to take you about 2 hours to enter them, and then they are there at your disposal all the time. It's going to take you 2 hours to enter it, and then you can forget about it. You can administer your test, have it graded if it's multiple choice, and move on. Alright, so I want us to just enter one question before we close off. So we're going to create a new question. What kind of question would you like to enter? Multiple choice? Okay. So we're going to enter a multiple choice question. Do we have a question we want to enter? A specific question? We want to borrow one from Mr. Saraj?
All right.
You have one? Oh, excellent. Right? All right. So, no, you have to come and put in your question yourself. So you will get a sense of how difficult it is. Huh? So, you want to give your question a name? Up here? And it doesn't have to be a lengthy name, just some little guide. Some math and econ, algebra, whatever it is, you do a quick abbreviation so that so, yeah, there you go. Is somebody timing? Somebody timing? Good. So while he's working, you may already have these questions in paper form, so that it's already on your system. So you don't have to do what he is doing. In today's technology age, you can put the pages side by side and you can copy and paste so that the process will be even faster. In comparison to having to type everything in as it is. Now, one of the things people are usually concerned about is the generation of the questions. We heard this morning about using the higher order adjectives in the Bloom's taxonomy. I don't know. This is the seventh question. Before we put in the options, let me just show you one. No. You notice here? You can put on the option. Right? You will notice up here it says shuffle the choices. Right? So that this morning we were told that there should be no pattern. No A, B, C, B, C, B, A. Right? Moodle shuffles the options for each student so that no two students are likely to have the same option. Right? So that in the beginning, right, when I started using this technology, right, the students were doing just what Dr. Thompson spoke about. Right? And the person would say A. Right? But their A is the person who is asking the question their B. Right? And so they have since learned that there is not much wisdom in coming totally unprepared for the assessment. The other thing Moodle does for you, which is not according to what Dr. Thompson recommended, is that you should give them the first 10 to answer to kind of boost their confidence. Unfortunately, Moodle doesn't do that, and I embrace it. So frankly, I'm a terrible teacher. But what Moodle does, it shuffles all the questions. It shuffles the STEM. So you can ask it to shuffle the STEM as well as to shuffle the options. So what the students discovered is that their number 13 is your number 56. And their A is your D. So they can ask you what's number 13. And they're going to ask you the whole question. And so then you're going to go through your thing to find that question to help. And then you're losing your time. You don't have any time to do it. I study to that for you. So it offers that. So when the student sits there, the test paper that student gets is different to the test paper their neighbor receives. So my apologies. But there is no first and simple question. You finished? Your answer? Did you identify your answer? So you have to put that in. So whichever one is your answer, you have to indicate what score you will give. And it gives you a variety of options. So if you're giving it 100, and that's it. And so that is your question, say?
Sorry, just on the reason for the ordering of the questions. And it goes back to early teaching, where it says really on time you can do the question that you know first.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't have a problem with that.
Exactly. Right? So we have our question in the question bank that we can then add to our test paper. Was it difficult?
Not really, no.
Right? It wasn't difficult. Right? And so you can do this. To assist you in how you manage your time. You can do this to assist the student. Because it's very stressful having to wait for your results. I have to wait this week. Miss, do the papers. Oh, next week. Miss, I promise you it will be done by the next class. In the meantime, the student is really on tenterhooks as to whether or not he or she did as well or as poorly as they assumed. In this case here, the student gets to work back immediately. And they're very excited and enthusiastic about that. And so I want to encourage you to make use of the resources available to you. Whether you are UG, whether you are IDC, Moodle is available to you. And I want you to spend a little time exploring what it can do for you and how it can truly enhance the teaching and learning environment for the student. Ms. Henry has all of my contact information. Should you run into any difficulties, feel free to reach out for any assistance. Thank you very much.